Hello to everyone who is watching. That's me just checking that I can be heard. Thank you for joining for tonight's stream of DIY Film Club's Hocus Pocus. If you are not familiar with DIY Film Club, and also if you only know this channel for actual plays, for creation of TTRPGs, for songs about TTRPGs, this is the one bit of non-TTRPG content on this channel. I just wanted to prime people now that this channel has a lovely modest following of folks. Hey Baldy, hey Dark Designer 85, and a big thank you to anyone who has been watching streams so far, who has followed, because you're the reason this channel now has affiliate status, which is awesome, and means that as soon as I get round to it, there'll be channel points for fun bits and pieces. We'll be able to use like so many more cool tools, which will come into play for some future projects coming up shortly, I will tell you what they are at the end of this stream. So thank you so much, because it's really lovely to be able to use those and have folks in the corner. So what is DIY Film Club? If you are new to it, DIY Film Club is something that's on this channel every 2 weeks. There is a very lovely group of people who every 2 weeks we pick a film, normally a classic film. Previous ones have been Jurassic Park, Titanic, The Matrix, etc. Die Hard. And this week is Hocus Pocus. And then we take those 2 weeks to recreate some of the scenes from that film and kind of patch together our very own homemade remote lockdown version of the film. And so if you know Hocus Pocus, then you'll be able to fill in the gaps yourself. If you don't, every single time we do this, there is a narrator who is a character or a star from the film. We've had Nakatomi Plaza narrating the story of Die Hard. We've had a group of slow motion bullets, of stop time bullets, narrating The Matrix. That kind of vibe. If you're expecting something super slick, then you are welcome to find a stream that will cater to those needs. This is very much homespun vibes here at DIY Film Club. So I'm going to take a drink because my mouth is already a little bit dry, which is a great sign. And you can tell how frantically I prepped for this stream, and that I've not even been able to put this into a glass. I am straight from the bottle, which is it's a great, like, mature adult look, isn't it? But so Hocus Pocus is a genuinely wonderful film, and if you haven't seen it after you've watched this version, I fully recommend that you see the real life version. There will now be a brief pause, hopefully resuming in about 10 seconds, whilst the narrator for this week's version of Hocus Pocus prepares. So shortly we will begin our recreation of the wonderful, the magnificent Hocus Pocus. Hello, I am the vacuum from Hocus Pocus. If you haven't seen Hocus Pocus, you may have seen some of my other work, such as that dance scene in Mrs. Doubtfire, or the 2002 and 2003 films Super Suckers and Vacuums, which featured Chevy Chase and Jeff Daniels in some of them. I can't remember who did what. I'm delighted that people are just joining the stream and will have plenty of context for my presence here. Anyway, I'm here to enjoy retelling the story of the film Hocus Pocus that I worked on. Additionally, if you have any questions of the fact that I look quite different from when I was in the film, Hollywood, you know, puts demands on all of us in our appearances, so I have had some work done in the years since then. But anyway, so Hocus Pocus, an incredible family film. I was delighted to be involved. And basically we go to Salem, Massachusetts, because where else would we go? And we are there around about Halloween, because when else would we be there? Now, we initially open with a view of the Sanderson sisters, a trio of witches, a coven. You might... Don't worry if you see an arm, that's just my handler. I'm very demanding, and I have a cohort of handlers because I'm an actor in Hollywood. There is the Sanderson sisters, a cohort of witches. We're seeing them many hundreds of years ago when they are literally sucking the life out of a little girl. And her brother Zachary Binks tries to stop them, but they use their magic, not just to devour her life, to keep themselves young, but they drastically change his body. You hear crunching, you hear cracking, and we will get to Thackeray later. Sorry, sometimes when I'm thinking and I'm concentrating, I go quite still, but I'm sure there'll be times where I'm very animated and excited. So in modern day Salem, Massachusetts, we've got well, I'm just going to use the names that I know them by. I knew them as Omri Katz and Thora Birch. I think he was called Max in the film, but I can't remember her character's name. And so yes, it's a good thing that I'm not just a puppet operated by one person's arm, because that would probably already be quite tiring. Just one of my crazy thoughts that I have when I'm talking. So yes, we are in modern day Massachusetts, modern day Salem, and Max is the new guy in town. He's just moved here with his family and his younger sister, and there is a girl that he's rather attracted to, obviously. There's discussion of yabos, I believe, which is a word for body parts. But anyway, it is on Halloween when the girl that he likes is having basically the poshest Halloween party in the goddamn world. Everyone's dressed up like it's the last days of the French Revolution. Not really sure why. It's kind of establishing that she's posh and has more money than him. But he manages to convince her, though he's got his little sister in tow because he was meant to take her trick-or-treating. That's how they gained entrance to the house. Sorry, that's just my handler there. He's got his little sister in tow. And there's the fancy girl that he likes. I can't remember her name. If anyone in the chat can, that I can see it, and I'll start using that rather than just calling her that girl. But they decide to go to the Sanderson sisters' house. Just as one of those kind of things, because he said in class that witches were out and that they were absolute nonsense. So they go to the Sanderson sisters' house. It's all quite creepy. I think it's been turned into a museum by this point. There is the younger sister is Danny. That's right, Danny and Max. They're the main important ones, to be honest. So yes, we're at the Sanderson sisters' house. There's a bit of a weird book, but we've not... I don't know if we've actually seen yet exactly how weird the book is, so I'll just wait for that. Oh yes, Alison! Alison is the girl that he likes! Danny, Alison and Max, of course. Sorry, I've worked on so many films, I can't be expected to remember them all. So, they're there, and there is something called the Black Flame Candle. And legend has it that if a virgin were to light it, then the Sanderson sisters would come back to life, as they have been dead for many, many hundreds of years. And Max, being an arsey show-off, decides to light it. And of course, stuff gets weird. And they say, a virgin lit the black flame candle, you numpty. You're a virgin. No shame in that. But does mean he summons a load of witches. So, some of these bits I get a bit hazy on the details, but he has summoned the witches. But the thing is, he gets attacked by a cat. And I think maybe I've got a bit more context on this cat. So my handler is just gonna press some buttons because I can't reach buttons on this computer. So my handler's just gonna press them. So you'll see her occasionally. But yes, a black cat attacks Max.
Okay, Frank, what you got to do, you run around you run around the thing, the log cabin, and you're just about to jump up onto Omri Cats and say, "Nice going, Max," in a really kind of disdainful tone. This is the first time we've actually heard you speak, so this is the first time that we recognise that Thackeray Binks is in fact a cat. I mean, we've already seen the transition, like kind of him being turned into a cat, but we didn't realise he could talk. Now's the first time you can actually talk. So if you could just, so yeah, we've run around the log cabin. If you just look up here and say, "Nice going, Max." Frank? Yeah, if you just look up. Yeah, no, up here. No, not over there. That's Omri Cats. It's Omri Cats over there. He's been very accommodating, turning up here. So if you could just look up here, Frank, and say, "Nice going, Max." Nice going, Max. Okay, yeah, cool. And just "Nice going, Max." Okay, we'll get it in a second.
So yes, Thackeray Binks is a cat, but that at least gives these kids a powerful ally, as the Sanderson sisters have indeed come to life. However, they've come to life on Halloween, something that they're not as familiar with. And indeed, they get a little bit confused by the modern world. They think that a road is like a black river. And they also... Winifred Sanderson, I believe, is the main one. Ginger hair, lovely stuff. Bette Midler, that's the one. Winifred goes to the book that's in the museum and calls to it, and it's made of human skin, and it has an eye that moves. They're incredibly powerful spell book that they can even sing to at times. So we now have a problem. The children have unleashed witches. I'll be fully honest, I can't remember exactly how they encounter the witches, but we do see some hilarious things with the witches being very confused by the modern world, not being sure about how to get on a bus, being terrified of small children that are dressed up and that. And indeed, there is indeed a further confusion that I think I will cast my mind back to currently.
Master, you recognize us, the Sanderson sisters, at your service. Oh, great and powerful Satan, lord of misfortune and injustice, divider of nations, quasher of hope and queller of dreams, we're at your service.
Yes, Winnie, well, I am of course thrilled and delighted to be named your new lord and master.
Then you know of the book.
Yes. Well, you have my solemn and superfluous word that we will talk about the book later.
Very well. In that case, while we wait, will you regale me with your latest conquests?
Well, where to start? First, I manipulated a referendum to divide a nation.
Oh, how delicious!
Dooming its people to generation of infighting, along with an ever-widening social and economic divide, not to mention isolation from its European allies and stoking right-wing ideologies.
Okay.
And then, after weaseling my way into a position I was grossly unfit for,
Yes.
we were hit by a worldwide pandemic, and rather than focus on lives, we focused on the economy, ignoring the science and dooming thousands to lose their jobs, introducing various schemes to cram as many people into small spaces as possible, and blaming the public as cases rose. And honestly, Winnie, that doesn't even begin to cover half of it.
All right.
And then we voted against free school meals.
Well, yes, I've got... Wait, what?
We voted against free school meals.
That's fucked up.
What?
I mean, I'm evil, but in a fun, old-school Disney kind of way. This is actually depraved.
Thank you, we're always very well depraved in Parliament.
I mean, when you think about it, it's not even that funny. Barely worth making a joke over, because Comparing you to a metaphorical representation of sin sells short the very real suffering and very human evil you have brought into the lives of so many. People are dying. The vulnerable are suffering, and the responsibility for that lands squarely at your feet. And it's just sad to think that this is only the latest in a series of straw pieces to land upon the camel's back, and even this, even literally voting to starve actual children, only adds to your house of straw rather than breaking the camel's spine it sits upon in two. But like I say, it is a straw house, and Wolf is coming, Mr. Johnson, to huff and puff and blow you all down.
I'm woefully out of my depth, aren't I?
Abso-fucking-lutely. And frankly, I can't imagine anyone more ill-suited to govern... I'm going to find my book.
So yeah, that's basically what happened. I'm quite into my politics, and I quite enjoy just lacing that in when I recount the films that I've been involved in. But yes, Winifred does mistake, I believe it's the mayor of the town, for the devil, who is, of course, as her witch, a master. Now, the problem for the witches is, if they don't eat any kids, by which I mean kind of sucking out their souls and their life energy in a very ghostly, actually quite hauntingly beautiful way, then they will die by sunrise. So, they go about trying to find some children. Obviously, the first ones that they found were Max and Danny and Alison. Now, they're most interested in Danny. I mean, it's quite interesting because she's dressed up as a witch. So there's a nice bit of, in sync there. And now there is a rather upsetting bit at a school. It's one of them American schools that has like a big kiln. And so I believe the kids actually trick the witches and manage to trap them inside. But the witches still keep on going. The kids try to warn their parents, who are all at this massive fancy dress party together. I remember the mum's Madonna, but I can't remember what the dad is. But the witches get there as well. And the thing is, there's things that the witches can do to the adults that they don't have the power to do to the children. And it looks like the kids might be on their own, because the witches have quite a, well, I was going to say bewitching. That'll be a right joke. I'm a joker, me. Me and that Henry lad, I make him laugh like a drain. But they have a rather bewitching song, which they can use to manipulate the adults and make sure that they're not going to help the kids one jot.
For too long, DIY Theme Club has presented American films. Today, we present Hocus Pocus as Atlas Français. J'ai un enchantement à vous dispenser, à la moment tout c'est à moi. Vous n'en posez l'acte à moi, je n'ai pas l'effort, c'est toi sans Dani à le jour, nos chantres retournent, l'inferno appaïe, j'ai une chambre à vous disposer, à la moment tout c'est à moi. J'ai une chambre à vous dispenser, et tout palais à Dieu, mon ami à vous distinguer, et c'est très puissant. Votre pathétique petit vivra, sa totale malédique, c'est tout enchantré travers, je suis Lucifer et au chic. Chambre à vous dispenser, et tout non c'est vrai, oblige superstition c'est fait, demande à main tes oreilles vicieuses. J'ai enchantement à vous dispenser. J'ai enchantement à vous dispenser. Je non parle français, voir le film, excusez-moi.
I mean, wasn't that hauntingly beautiful? Actually, screw, the fact that it's impossible to do copyrighted music on Twitch. I'd rather listen to that because that was amazing. So yes, the witches cast a spell and all of the adults literally can't stop dancing. So it's down to the kids. Now, they try to do what they can. Obviously, Alison has always believed in witches, so she's got a few tricks up her sleeve, does a lot of sprinkling salt about. They go home and they make sure they're okay. Oh, there's also a lovely subplot with some bullies. One of them who's called Ice. They stole Max's shoes early on, so you know they're going to get a comeuppance. One of them, I think both of them actually end up in a cage. It's great stuff. And so back at Max and his little sister's house, they're trying to make sure that they'll be safe. But the thing is, they have the book currently. They managed to get the Sanderson sisters' book. And the book calls to Winifred. She's able to find it. She's able to reach out. She's able to follow it. Told you I'd get expressive at one point. And so, they prep. And you know what? I think actually, during all of this, they might actually be getting a little bit closer. See, Max was never really that close with his sister. He saw taking her out on trick-or-treating as something of a burden. And obviously this girl, Alison, didn't really fancy him. But they're all getting a little bit closer. Even little Thackeray Binks.
For too long, DIY Theme Club has presented American films. Today, we present
Frank. No, over here, Frank. Frank, the line is, you're trying to turn me into one of those fat, contented house cats. Frank, okay, cool. Frank. You're trying to turn me into one of those fat, contented house cats. Frank. Okay, over here? No. Frank, come on. We rehearsed this. This is take 2, so I'm dressed as Thora Birch, and I'm going to be like, and my kids are going to look after your kids. No, not your kids. My kids are going to look after you, and their kids, and then their kids, and then their kids, and then I fall asleep. But, what I need before that, Frank, is I need you to say, you're going to turn me into one of those fat, contented Frank, don't sit. You're in the wrong position, Frank. I hired Doug Jones, Frank, the acclaimed movement actor and costume performer Doug Jones, Frank. He was very accommodating. We sorted out catering, Frank. Okay, you're going to have cream and tuna all the time. You only have to catch mice for fun. And you're trying to turn me into one of those fat, contented house cats, aren't you? Because you're a human trapped in the body of a cat, and you're immortal. Frank? Yeah, okay. And you find the idea of being pampered really difficult because you still blame yourself for your brother's death. So if you can just embody that, Frank, if you can just embody that, Frank, and then just say, you're trying to turn me into one of those fat, contented house cats, are you? Because it's hard to be pampered, isn't it? Especially after hundreds of years of waiting. Frank. Okay, you've got cream and tuna, and you only ever have to catch mice for fun, okay? Okay, you missed your cue there. We'll try it again. You've got tuna and cream, and you'll only ever have to hunt mice for fun. Fat, contented house cat, Frank. That's the line. When you're not even looking. Okay, we'll try it again in a second.
So yes, here's a little bit of movie magic for you. Often they have multiple animals. They switch the cats in and out. So there's some insider knowledge, you know. Not many vacuums will be able to tell you that, but I can. So they're preparing for everything, but Danny goes and opens the bloody book, doesn't she? So a great big light shoots out the top of the house, and the witches can see where it is. So they go. I do get a bit fuzzy on some of these details. I will say this, and I think I might have missed something that actually happened earlier. So talking of lights, the kids do actually have quite a fun plan initially. They think they might be able to trick the witches, because obviously they don't know about Halloween much. They don't know about, roads and cars and that. So they figure, why don't they have a little go, these kiddos, at tricking the witches into thinking that dawn has come early.
The children are coming!
Soon the lives of all thy little friends shall be mine, and I will be young and beautiful again.
It doesn't matter how young or old you are. You sold your soul. You're the ugliest thing that ever lived, and you know it.
You die first. Tis ready. Pry open her mouth.
Kill it. Open your mouth. Ouch! Me. Prepare to die. Again.
You have no powers here, fool.
Maybe not. But there's a power that's greater than your magic, and that's knowledge. And there's one thing I know that you don't.
And what is that, dude?
Daylight savings time.
Daylight savings time.
Here.
It hurts.
Yes, turns out I wasn't all confused about the order, because yes, they captured the little girl from the house and that, and then Max had to come up with a plan, and yes, try to trick the witches with a car. Briefly works, kind of a bit like right at the beginning when they're facing off with the witches. He says he's going to bring the rain of fire or something, and basically sets off a load of water sprinklers. It's very good. But yes, by this point, they're starting to enchant the children. You see, Sarah Jessica Parker, who's one of them witches, she can sing a beautiful song about, come all ye children, I'll take thee away into my something of something, and such like. And basically is on a broom. She and Bette Midler have brooms, and Kathy Najimy has me. So they're flying through the sky. Sarah Jessica Parker is enchanting all these children. They've got so many children coming. But they are, I can't remember if they're incepted, but basically we end up finding ourselves, after more wonderful actions taken by Max, Alison and Danny, in a rather special graveyard, because this is the graveyard where one of Winifred's exes lives, played by a bloody good actor, but I think he gets referenced in a later cat moment, so I'll save that for the praise. Billy Billy, I think, again, if you can remember in chat to say, it's been a while since I've rewatched the film. You know, I love it very dearly, but it has been a little while. Billy is correct. Thank you very much. And so, well, I mean, let's just have a little look at what happens with this here Billy, shall we?
Run, Danny, run!
Billy! Billy, listen to me! Kill him if you must. Just bring me that child, that Danny! Put some wiggle in it, you putrid pestering fool! Donald, come along now! Come on now! Kill him! Do it now! Which? You trump, huh? You buck-toothed, up-riding firefly from hell! Ah! I waited centuries to say that.
Ugh, say what you want, just don't breathe on me.
Billy! I killed you once, I shall kill you again, you maggoty-mouthed peasant! Hang on to your head!
So yes, the kids actually have the aid of the rather zombified Billy, who, as you could see there, cut his own mouth open because I think it had been sewn up potentially by Winifred. But once they're actually in this graveyard, well, the witches are chasing them down, you see. There's a big fight. The witches need to catch them. They need to do something, but Sarah Jessica Parker and Kathleen and Jimmy just puff into nothing. See, they've not eaten any kids. And it's Dawn's coming. And while she's calling out, "Book!" Bette Midler turns to stone. But what does this mean? For surely the best character that we've met so far. Well, let's see, shall we?
Okay, Frank. So, Sanderson sisters have been defeated. Omri Katz and Thora Birch and the other one have saved the day. The sun's come up. It's the end of a very long night. The Sanderson sisters, one of them's turned into a statue. The other two have exploded. You just need to give out a last meow and then turn into the bloke from NCIS. So just when you're ready. I mean, this is the last one we gotta get, Frank. It's the last one. It's the last one, Frank. Just a meow. Don't even have to speak English in this one. Just do a little meow, and then you turn into the bloke from NCIS. He's actually, I mean, he's here. I mean, I'm sorry I keep calling you the bloke from NCIS. I don't know your real name. And he's being very patient today. So you just need to just give out a little meow, and then you turn into the bloke from NCIS. Frank, just do a little meow, and then you turn into the bloke from NCIS. And then we can all just stop. It's fine. It's just, can you, Frank, can you just a little meow? That's all I need. You don't even need to speak English in this one. It's fine. It's totally fine. We've got everyone on standby, Frank. It's fine. You just need, Frank. You just gotta. All you gotta do is do a little meow. Let's do a little meow. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna do a little. Just a little meow, and then you turn into the bloke from NCIS. Then we finish Hocus Pocus. That's the end. Because everyone succeeded. Omri Katz, Thora Birch, the other one. I'm sorry, I keep calling you the other one as well. No, not you, bloke from NCIS. The other, yeah. No, I can't remember her name either. Of course I know Omri Katz. He was in Erie, Indiana. Yeah, so Frank, if you could just. No, I know, and Thora, but she was in the hole, wasn't she? Were you in the hole? She's nodding. Yeah, Thora Birch was in the hole. But yeah, Frank, so if you just do a little meow, and then we can carry on with our lives. Catering are packing away, Frank. They're like we're wrapping up the shot. Look, Doug Jones, acclaimed physical theatre actor and physical performer Doug Jones. Can you stop pestering the catering? No, I know you've got to be on set of Discovery in like 20 minutes. We just got to get this meow, and then we're done. He's just got a meow, and then he turns into the bloke from NCIS. No, I don't know his name either. I can't. I know it's like McGee. No, that's who you play in NCIS. Yeah, okay, that's not really important. So Frank, can you just do a little meow? Yeah, okay, that's fine. Tell you what, we'll get it in post.
And yep, so the cat meows, turns back into like a ghost version of Thackeray, meets his ghost sister, and Thora Birch cries a little bit while they walk into the distance. And everything is now calm and is right. And that's Hocus Pocus. Now, I'm quite busy. I still do a cheeky bit of work. So I've got to, get back onto the set of, I don't know, probably like Mrs. Brown Boys or something to be part of some hilarious sight gag, or I don't know. But I'll be popping off. But I will leave you back in the capable hands of that one from the beginning. Okay. Oh, it's an inanimate. It's an inanimate vacuum, everyone. Definitely one of the smoothest transitions we've ever seen. Reposition everything. Thank you so much for watching. Recreation is given a lot of wiggle room when I say that we recreate films here on DIY Film Club. But yes, thank you for watching that recreation of a genuinely lovely film. Like, I sincerely think you should go watch it. It's just a brilliant, like, kind of quite nostalgic, lovely film. And wasn't probably given enough credit in how, like, the story does move along, and there's loads of gut bits that didn't get mentioned there. Thank you so much to everyone who was a part of that. I'm going to try and make sure that I'm using the right command in chat so that you can see the socials of the lovely people who did that. So hopefully, yes. Okay, so there's the people to follow who were doing amazing stuff. Thank you so much to Reese, to Sharmony, to Leo, to Ed, to Sean, to also Frank the Cat. And I've got a very special thank you as well to make sure that I give tonight. A shout out to Nikki English, because 3 weeks ago, because we had a little extra break, we did Ghostbusters, and Nikki did some incredible editing on a scene with Slimer, and I didn't give proper credit at the end of that stream. So thank you so much for watching this. Genuinely a delight. And it's always really fun to see what people come up with. I don't know what the next film is, but 2 weeks from now, same time, same channel, we will be recreating another thing. If you look for the hashtag DIY Film Club on Twitter, or if you tweet me at Chloe Mashiter, if you want to get involved, then let me know, because it's very much open to whoever's just looking for like a fun thing to do right now, because I don't know where you're watching from, but UK's in lockdown, so finding fun things is great. As for this channel, it now has a lot more regular streams. This Sunday we have, this channel it's run by me, and a lot of the stuff is just me. So on Sunday is One Player Ready at 11 a.m. GMT. I'm going to be playing A Mother's Love, which is a really cool Wretched and Alone hack. And basically One Player Ready is a actual play stream for solo games, just kind of showing off some really cool solo games in case you want to get into them, and having a little play around with how to stream creatively. So there was a big multicam setup for the most recent one, which was Cage of Sand, a really cool time loop horror. And if you look for Roll, Flip, Draw on YouTube, all past streams are up on there. Next Saturday, so not tomorrow, but in a week's time, there will be Made Up Songs About Made Up People, which is a stream where you can tell me about your TTRPG characters and I will improvise a song, sung and played on the ukulele for them. And the last one was a huge amount of fun and ended off with me doing something in a Southern American accent about a character. So like doing accents on top of having to improvise stuff. And additionally, on the 1st of December, it's the first Tuesday of every month, we have Undergods, which is a D&D actual play that's nearing the end of the campaign. So big stuff is happening, big emotional swings, huge stuff happening. But do follow if you're not following. And also, if you like pantos, then maybe keep an eye out for like middle of December for a little kind of semi-experimental, very fun type thing that's going to happen here. Anyway, I will let you all get on with your Fridays. I hope you have very lovely evenings. This will get uploaded to YouTube over this weekend. Again, keep an eye out on Twitter or check out Roll, Flip, Draw on YouTube. Thank you so much for watching and have a lovely evening. Bye.